Hi, I'm Rudi Hendricks. This is my lovely wife Angela, and we are from the Victory Church in Jeffreys Bay. And this year, we're celebrating our 10th year in the church.
Our journey basically started in Cape Town, I would say. I remember in Cape Town for a year or so, we weren't serving together as husband and wife because, as you know, my husband is a hard bass player and everyone just wanted him. And for me, that wasn't doing church and doing family. And he was quite happy at that time to do that. And I remember one day I just handed in his CV for a job in Jeffreys Bay, which I never even knew where it was. Weeks later, he got an interview.
Yeah. Can I just add, at the time when I was doing church without my wife, I was convinced I was doing the work of the Lord. So it wasn't a case of not loving my wife. Anyway. So yeah, how's that for you? You get a call from some guy saying that he wants to see you for an interview. So I get home and I tell Angela, I said, hey, this guy called me today about a interview, someplace up in Jeffreys Bay or something. And she's like, oh yeah, no, I know about that. I'm like, oh? And she's like, no, I submitted your CV. And I'm like, okay. At the time when I got employed by this company, things was really supposed to be looking up. You know, I'm coming to work for a bigger salary and things are going to be better. So we uprooted our whole lives. We left our friends and family behind. I wasn't too happy about it, but I came because my wife said it at the time.
When we came looking for houses, the Victory Church was the first thing we saw from our balcony. And I just thought this could only be Jesus. Remember, we haven't gone to church together, like for more than a year. So now we're looking for a church that suits us both and the family, not his needs or my needs, our needs.
And remember, we had this whole plan of we're going to visit a couple of churches in town and then only decide. We're not just going to jump back into church and all sorts of things. Because I was still upset about, you know, having to leave Cape Town. So I wasn't just going to join a church. So, yeah.
Yeah, and he was so over church that time because he was so angry that he just blessed someone that time with his amp because he was never going to play in the church again.
And then we walked into the Victory Christian Church.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole plan went out the window. We never visited any other church. Later we joined the church and now we part of the furniture, I suppose. But we love it, and the church really played a big role in our journey. We filled in this visitors card thing at church.
No, I filled it out.
Okay. And someone called me about a week later, and Felix had told me, "Hey, I believe you were involved in your worship team in your previous church." And I'm like, "What kind of church is this? How would they know that?" Anyway, so again I found out my wife ticked the box and filled in whatever. And so some guys started pursuing me, and that's how I met Pastor Owen Block, who happens to be one of my best friends now. I came to the church and the music at first was like, okay, all right, it's gonna take a bit of getting used to, but I started to like it after a while. But then I started sitting in church and I'm thinking, geez, I can't wait to play in this church. I'll play all these guys. You know, I kind of worked it out. Every Sunday, there's another person playing. They were great players, by the way. But I thought, I can do this.
The chips from Cape Town, hey? The chips on the shoulders.
Yeah. After all, I was from Cape Town. You know. Anyway, I was told, listen, dude, come on a Thursday, man. And I'm like, okay, I'll come on a Thursday, and I'll sit in the Thursday, and I'm thinking, okay, tonight's probably the night, and no. So for about more than 3 months, these guys made me sit through every Thursday, and I had to listen to the other guys play. Anyway, so eventually, at some stage, Pastor Owen said, look, I need to hear you play, and that's how I got started. This was also the first time I ever heard a pastor say that I'm not interested in your gift, I'm like, really? But that's all I have. So Pastor Louis said, like he tells all of us, a gift is something you find under a tree. So I'm interested in Rudi the man, and you guys as a family, and that really touched my heart as well.
Me coming out of a house where we had a quite open relationship with our parents. Rudi, who came out of a household where he didn't have that same openness. So accountability and transparency for me was a normal thing because that is what we lived every day. But for him, it was like a big no, because there was no such thing as telling everyone all your problems. I remember that time, and still now, that is what our church, one of the core values of our church, what it stands for. And as a couple, I remember we decided, listen, we're gonna try this thing. People can't be telling us how it's working for them and we're not trying it. Whenever we were deciding on something, we would then arrange to see Pastor Louis or Pastor Jacques or whoever, and we would just bounce it off them. And yeah, clearly we didn't always hear what we wanted to hear. And I remember with the thing where his company moved and we had to move, Pastor Louis spoke to us and he specifically said he didn't feel that God brought us to Jbay just to take us to Joburg. But at the end of the day, it's our decision. We need to decide what it is. We need to go pray and ask God. I remember we going home, me telling Rudi, there's no ways we staying here. Who's going to fit our bills? Who's going to look after us? And I said to him, no, dude, you need to work. There is no ways that you can't work. It's not a nice thing, telling people your everything, putting your heart out there. But the nice thing that you would walk away, they won't judge you. They would love you even more than what they loved you before, even knowing the worst of worst. And for me, that is family.
And this is all during the time after the company I worked for now moved to Joburg and I became unemployed. And Angela was now the breadwinner of the house. And obviously, that's not cool. There's no money to pay rent and all sorts of stuff. And that's when this whole thing of really putting your faith out there and making the choice. Am I gonna now stay and really believe God that this is where He wants us to be? Or am I gonna follow the comfort of a job to Joburg? And I remember in the worship team, where there were so many nights where they would come around me and pray for me. And there were times when I was like, okay, so we prayed now. And then the next week it would just be, Pastor Owen would say, I really feel that we should, Rudi, would you come? And I was like, really? Again? But I mean, it's those times that really kept us,
God will always give you a word or a scripture, and the moment you speak to or you bounce it off leadership, you will just know this is God. But they didn't grow us into them. They grew us into God, because it's in that we realized who our source was. Not man. Man is just the instrument. And once that clicked and we understood who our source was, things started changing for us. Victory knows how to do family, people. Victory knows how to do family.
After all of this now, after being unemployed and all stuff, God has blessed us with a business, and the business is doing well. Anything else you want to say?
So that is our story.
Say how much you love your husband and how amazing he is.
This is not the time now.